Dear viewers, it's yet another day. We are meeting, or we are coming to your house to continue with our teachings. It's yet another day we are coming to you from Deliverance Church, Saika International, under the leadership of Reverend Owen Wafula and other pastors who work together with him and other leaders. And I just want to take this opportunity to appreciate the leadership for even giving me this opportunity to reach out to you, to talk to you, and share some of the things that may help us bring up our families in the best ways possible. The previous weeks we have been looking at parenting during this time and beyond even Covid-19. And therefore, before I continue, I just would like to start with a word of prayer, even as we go on. Let's pray. Father, I want to thank you, want to praise you, want to glorify you, because you are faithful, you are mighty, you are loving, and you are caring. Thank you for yet another day, dear King of Glory, that you have given unto us, that you may reach out to our listeners, to our viewers, Holy One of Israel. Thank you for that parent, thank you for that individual who has taken his time or her time even to listen to us from Deliverance Church Saika. I'm praying, oh dear King of Glory, may the blessings overtake them, oh dear King of Glory. May you bless them even as they raise their families, oh dear King of Glory. Bless them even that are involved in your service, Holy One of Israel, for the honor and glory of thy name. I pray this day, oh dear King of Glory, that I speak to them, oh dear Father, you may enable them, even reach out to them, oh dear King of Glory, that I may understand even whatever I'm teaching or speaking or sharing this day, oh dear King of Glory. Thank you even for this opportunity. As is trusting this in the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Viewers, as I've said, we are continuing to share concerning parenting, because I know this is one of the most difficult times for us parents. Probably there is no time we have ever been with our children at home for such a long time, especially them that are going to school. And most of the times, we only take care of those who are toddlers, who are young. But once they step in school, we have very few times with them. Probably they come home when it's late, it's in the evening, and probably you as a parent also who is out, you come back home, find them maybe doing their homework and all that. So you never have had any much time with your children. And probably when they close, most of us, we send them to either their grandparents or to other relatives. And so no single time have we ever had such a time like we have spent with our children today. Because today we have restrictions that we may not send them back up country, because they may bring infections to our elderly parents or relatives, and so we are bound to have here with them, and neither are you as a parent free to send them to their auntie, to their uncle. So you are bound to stick with them all through. So this is one of the most challenging times we have had as parents. And even as you've been going through, looking through the media, listening, reading, I mean, there are all sorts of parents bringing out that this is one of the most difficult times that they are experiencing. And some of them have even decided that maybe this corona goes away so that the children go back to school, so that they may not even have such a hard time like they're having. So just to pick up from where we left last time, we were talking about 12 ways to become a more authoritative parent, even during this time of COVID and beyond COVID-19. And we had looked at 6 of them, one being listening to our children, that unlike the authoritarian parents, being an authoritative parent, you will listen to your child, you will allow them to speak to you. But authoritarian parents believe that children are there to be seen and not to be heard. So that's the difference. We had also looked at validating the emotions of our children, whereby we learn to teach our children to recognize their feelings and just to understand how their feelings even affect their behaviors, that in the long run they may know how best even to cope with their behaviors, so that their feelings so that they may not be affected in the long run. We looked at you also validating them, that when they cry, you don't just ask them, and why are you crying? But understand that they are crying because something is not right somewhere for them. So understand them, validate their feelings, their emotions, and see how to help them out. We also talked about considering our children's feelings. That even in our day-to-day plans, as we plan our lives as parents, let's try to check how does it leave our children. If we are planning maybe to do something that has never been there with us, we are moving houses, we are building another house, we will be moving maybe in the next few months. Just check our children's feelings. How will they feel even when this time will come? We may talk about maybe we are buying a new car. How will it be for them? Just consider how they feel about everything that you are doing. It's not that you may allow them to maybe change your mind, because children always believe that parents know better. So it's not about you asking them their opinion, but it's about you checking their feelings, how they feel about whatever you are about to change in the system of the family. At times, probably you are planning to bring in a member from another family. Maybe you are coming to stay with them. Just check how your children will feel like. And if you understand how they feel, then you will know how to help them adjust even when a visitor or a stranger comes in to join them in the family. We talked about establishing clear rules, that even as we put down rules, our rules should be very clear, and they should be explained why we are making such rules, that our children will understand and they will respect our rules even as we go along, because they understand why you are setting those rules. We talked about we offer one warning for minor issues, and it shouldn't be spanking them, it shouldn't be repeating whatever you said, because once you get repeating whatever you have told your child or whatever you have told them not to do, they'll assume that you will always keep repeating, so they will not take your word the first time you say it, because they know daddy will repeat, mommy will repeat. We also talked about using consequences to teach lessons, that whatever happens in the lives of our children, maybe they have hit another one, they have done something wrong to the other one, learn to teach them from whatever they have done. That it shouldn't be maybe they have hit another one that you also spank them, but make them understand that that is not the way to go about it. Just make them understand that there is a different way, a different approach they may use even to handle the issue. I remember sharing about my client who was a schoolboy, and because the other boy had abused him, the boy decided to hit him. And at the end of the day, when they went to the discipline teacher, the child was asked to go and bring the parents. And my question was, how different would you have handled the situation? And the issue was, I could have told the teacher, and that would have been an alternative, and that would have avoided bringing in even the parents and all that. So always learn to see how best can your child deal with his emotions, how can he handle whatever happens, and so help them deal with the situation. So today I want to start from looking at offering incentives to help our children even change behavior, or even work better from whatever they are doing, and using of rewards or incentives always motivates our children. And it doesn't mean that as a parent you keep showering your children with the gifts and lavish things and all that, but it's just giving an incentive to make them learn to do things differently. For example, when your child is struggling with a specific behavior problem, you can use an incentive to help him get rid of the behavior or something like that. For example, a preschool refuses to sleep in his own bed, and as a parent, you can create a sticker chart, and every time he goes to his bed, you use those sticker charts to remove one sticker, because he has done it the way you expect him. Or even as he does that, you can come home the following day having bought him something, and you just tell him that I bought you this one because yesterday you went to your own bed. And the child will learn that, oh, so if I go to my own bed, I have something to gain. And so by so doing, you help your child to learn to change their behavior or to do whatever you may want them to do. And I know this has happened most of the times in our schools. You will find that some schools, when a child has performed well, maybe number 1, number 2, number 3, they are given presents. It may that they are given an exercise book, a pen, or something. And that makes them know that, oh, so when I do well, I'm appreciated. And that makes them next time to work harder even. And so by offering incentives to our children because of one thing that they have done well, it helps them even to perfect in whatever they are doing. So, so always learn to appreciate our children whenever they do something good. Even when you have asked them maybe to clean the house in the day, and you come home, you find they have done it very well, and just appreciate them. Just give them something that can incent them. Maybe even telling them, okay, tomorrow I'll take you to for swimming, just because you have done something good that I wanted you to do. That makes them learn to do things the way you want them to do. And not that you are bribing them or you are buying them out, no, but just you are helping them learn to do things better if you ask them to do it. And so I know most of the times as parents we have done that, but on the contrary, you might have made your child believe that you are buying his services, and that's not what I'm advocating for. But I'm asking you as a parent that in a way you appreciate them. Let them understand that you are appreciating their good work, but you are not buying them into doing that good work. And that will help you to go a long way. They learn to do things the best way because they know when they do something good, they are appreciated. And I'm not saying that every time they do something good, you have to buy them something as an incentive. Even your words, just telling them good words, that, oh, my daughter, thank you, I love you, you have done something good. That's one way of also just making them feel good. So as a parent, look for small ways just to appreciate your children, that they may continue doing the best thing that you may want them to do. There are times also I like to ask as parent that you as an authoritative parent, learn also to make your child, allow your child to make choices. And probably you want them to do something in the day. Just allow them to make, don't be making choices for them. Don't just be telling them what to do, but empower them and prepare them to make bigger decisions later in life by allowing them to do small choices in their own life. Like for example, you may ask your child, do you want peas or corn? Maybe you are going to the supermarket, and so you are asking them, what do they want? And so this gives them room to decide what they want. Or do you want to clean your room before or after dinner? In these choices you are giving them, none of the choices is maybe better than the other, but you are just making them have to look at life from both angles. What will work for them as individuals? So you are not imposing on them, but you are giving them an opportunity to make choices. But either choice they make, it's okay. And for them, so by so doing, you make them learn to make choices in their life, that even in the later years, they know they have choices to make in life. So the key thing is like you make them know that you make sure you can live with either of the choices. Whichever choice they choose, it will work better for them. And apart from that also, I like you as an authoritative parent, I like you also to balance freedom and responsibility. I know every parent would like their kids to be responsible. Therefore, it's important to set them up for success, even when you are not there or in the future. And a few examples that I would like to give is like your child, maybe your preschool child, normally forgets to pack or a pack of items she needs for school or to use in school. And so for you as a parent, that you may help them have a responsibility on their own, that they may know that it's not a parent's responsibility to make sure they have packed everything, but that they have also a responsibility. So to transfer this responsibility from you to your child, what you can do as a parent is that you can create a checklist for them. Just create a checklist. Maybe as they go to school, you want them to make sure that they have taken their lunch box. You want them to make sure that they have taken their sweater. You want them to make sure that they have their pen, they have their pencil, they have their geometrical sets, they have their homework books with them, even as they go out. So make that checklist for them, or help them make that checklist. And before leaving their door in the morning to go, they have to go through their checklist to make sure that everything is well into their bag. They have all things in their bag. Or they may they may check even before they go to bed that they have everything packed well in their bag, and therefore when they go out they have everything. So with the checklist, every morning they want to go out, they'll check that they have everything with them. And at times also maybe our children struggles to be on time as they go out to school. So you make sure that you have, and this may also help us as grown-ups, not even the children alone, that you may set a clock for them. That maybe if they are waking up at 5, and by 6 they should be out of the house. So you make sure that as they woke up at 5, then maybe they spend 15 minutes in the bathroom. So by 5:15, they should be out of their bathroom. Probably they have another 15 minutes to take tea. That means by 5:30, they should be through with their tea. Within the next 15 minutes, they have to brush their teeth, put on their shoes and their uniform and everything. That is 5:45. They should have been ready with everything. And the next maybe 5 minutes, they are walking to the stage, or 10 minutes. And so you make sure that you have this laid down for your child, and at every time you may have maybe an alarm going on. So every 15 minutes, by 5:15, an alarm goes on. So your child should know that he should be out of the bathroom by that time. By 5:30, another alarm goes on. He should know that by that time he should be through with his breakfast. And so that will help your child to keep time and to keep track of time. And so that makes them even know that by that particular time I've done this thing. Or maybe it might not be an alarm, but just tell them time, so that they'll keep track of the time, so that they know by 5:30 have to be through. So they'll keep checking their clock to make sure that everything is running according to whatever you expect them to do. So by so doing, you are making sure that your child is not dependent on you, that it will not be you telling them that, you know what, John, you should be out of your bathroom. Jane, you should be through with your tea, your breakfast. No, but maybe by the alarm, they know they should be doing the next thing. Or by checking on their clock, they may know what they are supposed to be doing at that particular moment. And the next point that I would like you to do so that you may become an authoritative parent is you turn mistakes into learning opportunities. And that's to say, authoritative parents don't embarrass kids for making mistakes. Instead, they help them figure out how to turn these mistakes into learning opportunities. Your child has made a mistake, he has done an error. From this, help them to learn to come out of it positively. So when your child makes a mistake, explain why his or her mistake was a bad choice. So it is not about your child being bad, but why he did was what the child did was a bad mistake. So it's not about your child being bad, but you make them understand that it's only whatever they did that was bad, not them being bad. And it's not that at times you may find that maybe your child has not done his homework, or he has come late from school. So make them understand the repercussions of them not doing their homework, or the repercussions of them coming late from school. And therefore, if you realize that the child is repeating whatever they are doing, they just take an opportunity to sit together with them and just help them figure out how best to go out of this situation, how best they can move on with the situation. And maybe, like for instance, maybe your child has, I've just talked about keeping time. Maybe they have missed their bus going to school for 2 times, it has missed. So sit with them and ask that now that this is the 2nd time a school bus has left you, how best would you think you would want us to work on it, that you may get on your stage in time so that you may not be left with the school bus? And by so doing, you will work together with your child. You will walk through to come up with a solution as to how best you may work out of the situation. And also encourage self-discipline. Authoritative parents aren't interested in controlling their own child, but they seek to teach them to control themselves. That whenever your child does something wrong, try to make them understand how to do it differently. So don't calm your child down every time he's upset. Teach him how to calm himself down. And don't nag your child to do his chores. Help him become more responsible for getting his work done on his own. Whenever you want them to do something, help them to be responsible. Probably just ask them, how best would you want to do this thing if they are not doing it right? Or at what time would you think is best for you to do this thing? So in a way, you are creating a management plan for them to focus on. Maybe like we are talking about them being angry, help them to manage their own anger. Help them to see how best to go about it. And by so doing, you are helping them to be responsible people in the future. So it doesn't have to be you following them wherever they are. Because along the way, in the near future, they'll be away and on their own. So help to teach your children how to work on their own things, how to be self-disciplined when they are with other people. Help them to learn to work with other people around them. And in the future, they'll do it the best way. The last and the 12th is help your child to maintain healthy relationships with other children or with other people. And also you as a parent, help maintain a healthy relationship with your children. That is to say, it's not about you backing orders and insisting on them being obedient. Instead, it's about being a good role model and teaching kids, your children, the lifestyle skills or life skills. Authoritative parents are warm and loving with their parents. They show affection and they know it is important to nurture their children. That is contrary to authoritarian parents, because authoritarian parents have no time for their children. So set aside time or minutes every day that you may give to your children, undivided attention, that you can listen to them, that you can be there for them. I remember along the sessions, I remember having talked about 10 minutes for your children, that you can create 10 minutes for your child, that you may share with your child, just be there for them. No screen time, but a one-on-one, face-to-face, even as you talk with your child. And by so doing, you'll build a very stable relationship, a healthy relationship with your children, that they may be very free to come and ask you anything that they may want to know from you. They'll be very free to share the issues they are going through other than taking to other people away from you, and you'll be in a better position even to help them even walk through their difficult moments, their challenging moments better. I like to end there for this session. If you have any question, you are free to send to our page, and we will get back to you and we will answer you in our subsequent sessions. So thank you very much for listening to me, for watching me, even as we have gone through the 12 ways of becoming an authoritative parent. So I want to thank you once more, even as I conclude this session. Let's pray. Father, I want to thank you, want to praise you, want to glorify you. Thank you for your opportunity, for the opportunity that you have given unto us, even to share with our viewers, our listeners. Father, I want to pray that as we continue with this series, may you, even dear Father, continue even helping them to have time to listen to us. I want to bless them, oh dear King of Glory, that have been following us on our page. I want to bless them, oh dear King of Glory, them that have been listening to us, even dear Father. I want to pray, oh dear King of Glory, may help them even learn to apply even the teachings that we are bringing to them, oh dear King of Glory, both from this end and even dear King of Glory, from your teachings, everlasting King of Glory. I worship you, I praise you, and I glorify you. In Jesus' name I pray and believe. Amen.